What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Shadowz here. We back, baby. We back after about 10 months. Finally back from the grave. Feels good, man. I had to take a little break, had to take a hiatus. So if you guys are interested in hearing about that, stick around till the end of the video. I'll also be talking about channel plans moving forward. But today I'm coming in with a banger for you guys, talking about the top 10 pay-to-win items in Rust. Just as a disclaimer, guys, this is not skins, this is items. So I'm going to be talking about things that you purchase and you get their blueprint and you can craft them, stuff of that nature. It's not going to be reskins, it's not going to be weapon skins or armor skins or door skins. So let's get into the list. So most of the items on this list are just going to be slightly pay to win. They do give you advantages in specific situations and whatnot, but they're not going to be like game-breaking pay to win items. However, this first item is going to be one of the most pay to win, and that is the Surgeon Scrubs. You guys probably already know about the Surgeon Scrubs at this point. They're a really hyped item. They're like 40 bucks on the Steam market, and it's an alternative to the Ninja Suit if you were lucky enough to get that during the Twitch drops, which I was not. But the Surgeon Scrubs are basically just going to be a downgraded hazmat suit. The Hazy, as you know, is tier 2, and you have to have a blueprint, take some tarps, take some high qual, some sewing kits. It's kind of a headache to get and craft. You're usually luckier just to find it. But the Surgeon Scrubs are a great alternative, especially for early game, because they don't take a work 2 to craft. They're going to give you 25% projectile protection and 15% rads, which is great. And they only cost 60 cloth and 2 sewing kits, which is extremely cheap for what it is. Especially since Hazzies cost high qual and tarps, and you don't need either of those for Surgeon Scrubs. It's also a one piece, which is nice. You know, it's like a hazmat or a ninja suit where you don't need to put all the pieces of armor on. It just covers your whole body, and it's super useful. It's probably the most useful item on this list, and I'm definitely going to be picking it up soon, just because in that early game when you don't have a hazmat or you don't have Hazzies researched, this is one of the most useful items in the game, guys. It's going to give you great projectile coverage early game and decent rad protection. Now this list isn't ordered or ranked or anything like that, but coming in at number 2, I put 2 items together, and that's just because of their similar functionality. And those 2 items are going to be the boonie hat and the bandana. They're both very cheap to craft, taking less than 20 cloth each, and they're going to give you a little added cold and rad protection, even a little projectile. They're worth picking up for what they are. They're about 30 cents to get a skin for both of them, and once you get a skin you can craft them. It's definitely worth it just for adding a little bit of extra cold and rads to your prim kits. And also the bandana is great with the riot helmet and the wolf headdress for an extra 5% projectile, so I would recommend picking them up. The third item on this list is one of the ones that has a small advantage. It's almost unnoticeable, but it's going to be the beach towel, guys. It's included in the Sunburnt DLC, which another item on this list is also included, so it's probably worth picking up the DLC. It also has like a fun pool and shit like that. But the beach towel is useful because it has a smaller box than the sleeping bag. It has the exact same functionality, exact same crafting cost, but it does have a smaller hitbox. So when you're placing it in your 2x1, you could potentially save some space using a beach towel. You can also place it on the ground and it blends in pretty well because of all the skins that come with it. So when you're roaming and you're getting outside bags down, it's kind of nice to have the beach towel, but again, slight advantage. Now boys, the next one. The next one is my favorite on this list. We got the boogie board, boys. Also from the Sunburnt DLC, included with the beach towel, is the boogie board. The boogie board comes with like 7 skins. It's fun, it's different, it's cool, and it's cheap. So if you're early game and you're trying to go grub oil with your crossy or your revy, but you don't got scrap for a scuba kit or a boat, then go get a boogie board. It's 1 tarp and 75 metal frags. It has a horrible hitbox when you're laying down because you can't head look. You're just like laying down and you can look around a little bit, but you can't look behind you. So that's definitely the biggest downside. If someone pulls up on you in a boat, you're screwed. It's really hard to stand up on. But if you're grubbing, that thing is a miracle worker. You can pull up to oil and someone can be holding helipad or crane, and you pull up at dock and they will not hear you. Which with a scuba kit or a boat, they will hear you. So that is a great plus of the boogie board. It's also just fun to ride around, and it's definitely worth giving a shot to take to oil if you're really desperate or if you're grubbing, like I like to. So it's definitely worth picking up. Our next item is a little pricier, boys. Coming in $143, we got the Christmas lights. They're a bit older, so that's why they're so expensive. But you can also get the deluxe Christmas lights, which is a completely valid alternative. It's only $8 at the time I'm making this. And they're both just really useful for lighting up your base. If you don't have a glowing door skin or anything of that nature, you can place them on the outside of your base and easily locate it at night. They're also kind of fun as a cool little decoration, and they're pretty cheap. They're only like 20 low grade and 25 metal frags. Our sixth item is a little weird. It's the Fogger 3000, boys. This one's $4.60 at the time of me making this, and it costs 100 metal frags, 30 low grade, and 1 pipe to craft, which is not too bad for what it does. The main pay to win benefit of this thing is if you have a door camper or you have issues with door campers, you can place this thing outside of your base. It only takes 1 electricity to power, and it has a motion sensor, so you can basically put it right next to your front door, and if someone's standing at your front door, it'll start smoking out the area, which is useful in some situations. I don't have it, but some people claim it's pay to win, and I could see how. Now our next item was a Twitch drop, and it's also available for purchase. Coming in at number 7, we got the sofa. The sofa is not too pay to win because of the chair, but the chair you need a blueprint and you need a workbench to craft. The sofa is just default once you've purchased it. It does take up some space, but it's also kind of cool, and when you sit in it, it gets you 100% comfort, which is obviously great because you can get to full health without using any heals. Now it's time for the most pay to win item in Rust. I'm sure a lot of you guys can already guess what this is. It's somewhat of a reskin, but I'm going to call it a new item because of the change in stats. It's the Arctic suit, boys. The Arctic suit is $13. It also comes with a pretty cool AK skin, but it's kind of annoying because of the animation it has. Anyways, the Arctic skin is a hazmat suit reskin, but it changes the stats. The hazmat suit has 50% rad protection and 8% cold protection, and the Arctic suit has 33% in both categories. It also looks dope, but the 33% in both categories is so good for roaming. The Hazy is going to be horrible in the Arctic areas, but the Arctic suit is viable in those areas, obviously, and it's still usable in most rad-heavy places. You can't use it in launch site, but besides that, you're not really going to notice a difference in the radiation protection. However, the cold protection is extremely useful. You can roam the whole Arctic with it, and it still has its projectile, the same as the Hazy, so it's really useful, and it's definitely worth $13. Now, second to last, we got the Snowman helmet. The Snowman helmet is my go-to prim craft. It's great because the bone helmet takes bone frags, obviously, which can sometimes be a nuisance to get your hands on, and the Snowman helmet does not. It only takes 10 cloth to craft and no workbench. It's about $1.50 at the time I'm making this video, and it only has 5% less projectile protection than the bone helmet, but it has better radiation and cold protection, so it's definitely a great alternative, and it's really useful early game. Now our last item to wrap things up is going to be the Chinese lantern. The Chinese lantern is a good alternative for the normal lantern to light your base up. It only costs 25 cloth and 5 low grade instead of the normal lanterns, 50 metal frags and 15 low grade. You can also place it hanging off things instead of flat on surfaces, so you can place it on your ceiling rather than on the floor, which is going to save you space in the long run. It's about $4 on the Steam market, and I think it looks really nice as well. If you pair it with that Lunar New Year garage door, it looks even better, and I think it's a great item. And that's going to be the end of our list, guys. Some of these items are pretty pay to win, and in a game like Rust, any advantage is a big advantage. It's a hardcore survival game with intense PvP, and if you can get that upper hand on anyone, then that's really going to help you in the long run. So if you guys are interested in any of these items, you should probably check them out. They're all pretty cheap, and the Christmas lights have an alternative, so you don't gotta drop 140 bucks on Rust. I got a pay to win skins video coming out soon, like I said, and there's some crazier skins than items even. There's some skins that should really not be in this game, so make sure you check that out when I drop it. And as for why I've been gone, guys, I'm not sure if anyone watching this is a long-term viewer, but I basically just got exhausted of playing video games in general, especially Genshin and Valorant. I just couldn't do it anymore, and making YouTube on top of it just felt like a hassle and too much. I'm a full-time university student, I got a job, all that shit, but I'm back here. I'm here to have fun. I'm not taking it too serious. I'm going to be doing Rust videos in the future, If I find any other games I'm interested in making videos on, I'll do them. So let me know if you guys know any good games, anything like that. If you guys enjoyed the video, a like and subscribe would be appreciated. And remember, stay healthy, stay consistent, and just do what you gotta do.